Hey everyone, it's Kai from Cool Collectibles back again for another review. This time it's the Transformers Masterpiece MP-17 Plus anime repaint of Prowl. And I have to say, after being pretty impressed with MP-42 Cordon the other day, I am pretty underwhelmed with this release of Prowl. I do have the original Prowl here, so some of my initial negative thoughts were, I guess, balanced out by some of the things that I saw on the original. But overall, there are some quality issues and some paint application issues that I'm not too fond of with this particular release. On the overall quality aspect, the first thing I noticed was the overall quality of the box. And it's a minor thing in the scheme of things, but this particular version is made in Vietnam, whereas Cordon was made in China, and the quality of the print and the cardboard on this box almost looks like a knockoff. So I'm not sure what's up with that. And the other thing that pissed me off was the collector card. So pretty much all the other collector cards I have been cut nicely, but you look at this one and the edging is just off. So it looks like whoever was in the factory that day to line up this cardboard couldn't line up the grid lines properly, so that looks a bit off. But at least it's the sort of initial original sort of artwork, which I prefer. I don't have the, oh no, I do have the original here next to me, so you can see the sort of difference in the colorway, highlighting the blue and I guess the grey sort of bumper and so on. So some of the changes there consistent with the repaint of the toy, but again, that's another bit of a quality issue. At least the cardboard quality for the card is back to, I think, back to what it was, because I think one of the previous other releases had almost like a really thin type cardboard, which wasn't very good at all. This one I got from Robot Kingdom, so it does come with the new collector coin in this packaging here. And you see that there. I haven't taken it out of the packaging yet, but I do have the original coin, so you'll see that it is different. So it's good that they're still putting these out. And if you're a fan, I guess depending on how you collect them and display them, I always rip open the packaging and I just store these away pretty much just for fun. But it's always a nice bonus. And the accessories wise, it comes with his rifle. Now, I'm not quite sure why they did this, where this section here has a matte white painted finish, whereas this bit at the front here is just unpainted white plastic. I'm not sure why they didn't just paint the whole damn thing. It just looks incomplete or unfinished, whereas the original gun here that he's holding has a fully painted silver, sort of metallic silver paint application. So I definitely prefer the rifle on the original, and I'll probably display the new one in bot mode, but it won't be holding this particular rifle. It'll definitely be holding the silver one. So I think that's a wasted opportunity there. It does come with the two shoulder cannons if you want to display it in a more of a G1 toy accurate way. It is nicely chromed. I don't have the original ones. Because I got the original Takara, well, I think they called it a Takara exclusive release. I think the original run had some extra bonuses, and mine did come with some shoulder cannons, but I think I've stored them away in my little accessories box somewhere. But at least they come with it this time, and they are nicely chromed. This bit here is just, I think that's just unpainted grey plastic, but it is nicely done. So I can't complain too much about those two. But that is pretty much it with this set. So I'll just get on to the figure. Hold on. Alright, so here it is up close, and the first impressions I had when taking him out of the box, as I was saying, I was a little bit disappointed. I could see that this whole painted white section I thought was not as glossy as the original. and it is a very sort of matte white. And I did get the original out just to have a quick look here, and I just realized that the white on the original is also a matte finish, so it doesn't really have much of a glossy finish at all. There are aspects of it that do have a bit more of a gloss, but I won't be transforming this back into the car mode to do the comparison. I will be comparing them in bot mode, but as you can see, the white is pretty similar. I would say that the original is just a shade cleaner in its whiteness, whereas this new anime repaint, the white is almost has a slight yellow tinge to it. I would have preferred if they had just done it exactly the same as the original. I guess the obvious differences on the front here, you'll see that the bumper on the new is as per the cartoon, which I don't necessarily, I do prefer that grey bumper and the red highlights on the front there, but I do love, as always, that they've got the Z on the front there for the fair lady, whereas this new one has just a painted black knob, and I can show you there that the paint finish is not very clean at all. There just seems like when they were painting it there was a lot of dust or hair or something around it, so it just leaves all of these weird swirls, whereas you can see on the original here, it's actually quite clean. That's just a bit of dust there on my own part, but that black at the front there is nice and glossy. The black on the front here has the same sort of gloss, but just the overall finish not as great. It does have the blue headlights, which are pretty good. I actually prefer those blue headlights as opposed to the sort of clear plastic ones. It gives that a bit of a pop on the front there, and of course it has the blue translucent plastic for the windscreen and so on, and the back, instead of the sort of greyish translucent colour. The back windshield that you can see there, so I think the original is much clearer. It's almost like a perfectly clear with only just a slight grey tinge, whereas this is almost like a clouded blue plastic, which I don't necessarily. It looks a lot better in photos, I think, but in hand I don't really quite like that blue at all. The painted blue on the back here instead of the painted black. This blue here just, I don't know, it just looks a bit off compared to that. I would have preferred if they had tried to somehow put the translucent plastic at least. On the rear here you can sort of see the comparison in different shades of orange and red. I don't mind that it's a brighter colour. I think that makes it pop a little bit more. And of course the doors don't have the police and highway patrol writing. And the symbol's probably cleaner on the new version, a bit brighter in the yellow, so I don't mind that. I do like the way they've done that, and of course the insignia at the front is a little bit bigger. It was massive on the MP-12 Plus sideswipe. I think they overdid the size of the insignia on the chest, but this one's not too bad. It is quite a bit smaller on the original that you can see there. But other than that, that's pretty much it in car mode. A few other differences like the windscreen color, windscreen wipers. All the wheels are pretty much the same, I think. But other than that, that's pretty much it in car mode. So I'll get him transformed into bot mode and give you guys a comparison there. Hold on. Alright, as always, it took me forever to transform this thing into bot mode. The joints were pretty tight, particularly around the legs and ankles here. Trying to separate this part took quite a bit of force, so just be careful there. But once you get him into bot mode, I think that's where these Anime Plus versions really do shine, and I think I actually prefer this over the original for bot mode. I think the blue highlights on the shins there really do set off the figure. The larger bot symbol, Autobot insignia on the front there, really sets it off. Now the paint application in the face, one aspect I do prefer the sort of metallic silver face sculpt on the original over the sort of more matte finish. There is a bit of shine or speckle in the face sculpt, but most of it is pretty flat. But other than that, I think the blue lights on the front really set it off. I do like that there's the grey bumper to sort of break up that all black look there. And I think just the overall pop of the figure really sets it apart in bot mode. In car mode, I do prefer the original, but you know, with the sort of grey highlights here, it just breaks up the colour a little bit, I think. I might have preferred if the thighs here retained maybe the metallic sheen of the original, but this sort of grey isn't too bad. It's I don't even think that's painted. I think that's just grey plastic, unless it's a very matte sort of finish on the paint application there. But not too many other differences, I think. The elbow areas there have the grey metallic plastic as opposed to the white. I wish they had done the same thing as MP Sideswipe, where the little black elbow joint there, they changed to white on Sideswipe, but they did not do that on Prowl, which is disappointing. That would have nicely sort of filled that black gap there. But overall, it looks pretty good in bot mode. As I was saying before, I'm definitely going to have him holding that silver gun instead. The blue, I don't know, it's just something about the blue just looks better in the bot mode, so I'm not quite sure why that is. I think the back still looks pretty terrible for this particular mod with all the gappage and so on, but overall I never display my figures from the back, so it doesn't really make too much of a difference. And the sort of blue there, it's all hidden away, that sort of frosted plastic. So that's pretty much it, I think. Overall, again, as with these ones, I prefer the anime versions in bot mode. I might just grab Sideswipe and Red Alert and just give you guys a look at the anime versions all together. Hold on. Alright, so here are the 3 anime versions that I've got so far. And in bot mode, as I was saying, I definitely prefer them in this mode. You'll see the white elbows that I pointed out before on Sideswipe. It would have been really nice if they had done that. But you know, with the white glossy paint there, the sort of white finish or the off-white finish on Red Alert, and the overall sort of fairly consistent white on Prowl here. It would have been nice if it had the same sort of bright white that was on the original, but overall it does look pretty nice. And together, if you compare them against some of the screenshots in the cartoon, these really do look like they've jumped straight out of the TV screen. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully you like that quick look at the new MP-17 Plus Prowl. There are a few paint issues here and there, but if you're a G1 fan of the cartoon, then I think you probably should pick this up just to have that overall look for cartoon accuracy in the collection, particularly the way Takara are going with all their new molds anyway. So hopefully this helps you decide if you want to get this new anime version. Hopefully you can click that like and subscribe button, and stay tuned for all the upcoming reviews I have coming up over the next couple of months before the end of the year. So thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers. Bye.